Let my heart be changed, renewed, flowing from the grace that I found in you. And Lord, I've come to know the weaknesses I see in me will be stripped away by the power of your love. So hold me close and let your love surround me. Bring me near and draw me to your side. And as I wait, I'll rise up like the eagle, and I will soar with you. Your spirit leads me on in the power of your love. Lord, unveil my eyes and let me see you face to face, the knowledge of your love as you live in me. And Lord, renew my mind as your will unfolds in my life, in living every day, by the power of your love. Oh, and hold me close, let your love surround me, and bring me near and draw me to your side. And as I wait, I'll rise up like the eagle, and I will soar with you. Your spirit leads me on in the power of your love. I will soar with you, and I will soar with you. Me close and let your love surround me. Bring me near and draw me to your side. And as I wait, I'll rise up like the eagle, and I will soar with you. Your spirit leads me on in the power of your love. Yes, I will soar with you. Your spirit leads me on in the power of your love.
Hello, everyone. Good morning, everyone. How's everybody doing? Fantastic, fantastic. Welcome to the Center of Unity. We are glad that you're here with us this morning. I was off last week. I went down with the family. We went down to Galveston, and we had a great time down there. And there was at one point, though, I felt like I was in a horror movie. Have any y'all been down to the coast? So we had to walk through this path of grass to get to the beach. And apparently the mosquitoes on the coast are significantly different than they are up here. They're bad up here. But on the coast, they're literally like a horror movie. We walked through the grass, And we're walking and we're carrying our stuff, and I turned around because something was attacking me. And I turned around, and literally, I bet there were 75 mosquitoes just all over the backs of our legs. And you can't get, I mean, you do like, they don't come off. You have to swat. And so it was fun. But we had a great time. We had a great time. So we're going to go ahead and get started. Isaiah 43. Isaiah 43, God says, I'm doing a new thing. I'm preparing a way for you in the wilderness. Right? And sometimes in life, we find ourselves in places where we're on a path that isn't exactly clear. Right? I mean, we don't necessarily know always what's right around the corner for us. But faith is not about knowing all the answers, right? Faith is about trusting the one who does. And that's what this song is about. It's about God making a way for us. Let's sing it together. Can you give me keyboard here, please? Moving in our midst, I worship you, I worship you. You are here, working in this place, I worship you, I worship you. You are waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness. My God, that is who you are. You are waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness. My God, that is who you are. You are here, touching every heart. I worship you. I worship you. Stop working, you never stop, you never stop working. Even when I don't see it, you're working. Even when I don't feel it, you're working. You never stop working. You never stop working. Even when I don't see it, you're working. Even when I don't feel it, you're working. You never stop working. You never stop working. Waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness. My God, that is who you are. You are waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness. My God, that is who you are. That is who you are. That is
Well, hello, everyone. Good to see all of the beautiful faces here in our sanctuary and knowing and envisioning all those others who are joining us online. It's good to be back with you as I was away in Michigan and was gone last weekend and thoroughly enjoyed the cooler temperatures, which is the whole reason why you go to the Upper Peninsula of Michigan in the summer and not in the winter. I wasn't sure how that experience was going to be because the 1-year anniversary of my mom's death just passed, and that was my first time going back to where she lived for the last 50-some years of her life. But, you know, it was interesting. I must have moved through all this because I didn't even want to see the house. It's like, well, it's not our house anymore. That house has been sold, and so we never even drove by it. And I did have a good visit with my sister and my older brother. And, you know, one of the things going for family visits always reminds me is it reminds me both of what we value and what we share together as a family, but also it reminds me of all those triggers and shadow parts of us that only your siblings and those very close to you know exactly where they are. And so this morning it reminded me, and we haven't done this in a while, that we also as a community have the things that we collectively value and that we also carry with us through our decades of experience, those things that might show up when those particular triggers get pushed on. And so what we have created collectively, we're going to affirm today. And we're going to start with the shadow side of what we identified as things that we just want to be aware of. So join with me as we affirm it together. So please have compassion with us when we are being not enough, hurt, powerless, distrusting, blaming, and fearful, for this is who we've come here to be: loving, unstoppable, empowered, integral, spirit-led, inclusive, and authentic. And so it is. And so we're going to sing again and know that collectively we are here and connected together.
You restore
Good morning. I'm Johnetta Hudson, and this is June Brookshire. We are members of your care team, and we will be present after the service to provide prayer support for anyone who so desires it. The daily word for today, believe. I trust that my belief and my unbelief are enough.
When Thomas says he can't believe in Jesus' resurrection unless he touches the wounds for himself, he is describing those moments when God's infinite eternal good seems too hard to believe. Jesus' response is instructive. He doesn't criticize Thomas's doubt or demand blind faith. Instead, he offers exactly what Thomas needs, inviting him to touch the wounds and see for himself. Jesus meets him where he is, then invites him into a deeper way of believing, one that can trust in unseen blessings. The invitation is open to me too. Whether my belief is steady and confident, or I long for reassurance and signs of divine presence, I trust I am divinely supported and dearly loved.
Let's pray. I know. It's instructing me, and I'm going to do it. Let's pray. We close our eyes and breathe deeply in the one presence, the one power that is love, God's love. God's love sustains us through every challenge, every difficult period in our lives, and is always working to bring about good. God's love has heard every prayer request, every desire, every need, and is working in us, through us, and for us to bring about the highest good. So we rest in peace and in confidence, knowing that our God, the God of our understanding, the God that is innately a part of each and every one of us, is a way maker and a miracle worker. For this, we give thanks, and so it is. Amen.
So for the next month, we are going to step into one of the most fascinating and also one of the most misunderstood movements in early Christianity. Thanks to remarkable archaeological discoveries made within the last century, we now have the opportunity to hear the Gnostics speak in their own voices, rather than just the voices of those who wrote about them and typically wrote to criticize and to inauthenticate them. The Gnostics were not a single church or an organized movement. Instead, they were a diverse collection of spiritual communities that flourished during the first 3 centuries after the death of Jesus. The word Gnostic itself comes from the Greek word gnosis, meaning knowledge. But this wasn't your intellectual knowledge that the word gnosis implied. Rather, it was a direct, transformative experience of the divine. It was an inner awakening. If you got gnosis, you were awakened to one's true spiritual identity. Gnosticism emerged within the rich spiritual landscape of the lands of those times, of what was known then as the Roman Empire, where Jewish mysticism, like the Essenes that we explored earlier this year, a Jewish mystical group that both created or was created before Jesus and then many believe deeply influenced the way Jesus taught. But there was also Greek philosophy, particularly Platoism, and early Christianity ideas that were floating around, in Egyptian religions and other mystery traditions that were known at that time. It was certainly a time in our human evolution of spiritual creativity, as people wrestled with that profound question about God, the nature of God, the soul, the meaning of life. Our understanding of the Gnostics changed dramatically when in 1945, so not that long ago, less than a century ago, a collection of ancient manuscripts was discovered near the Egyptian village of Nag Hammadi. And before the discovery, nearly everything we know about Gnosticism came from the critics, especially early church leaders like Irenaeus, who wrote extensively against and disclaiming whatever their beliefs and practices were. But hidden in this clay jar for nearly 1,600 years were more than 50 ancient writings, including what had been discovered before, but now we had a complete version of the Gospel of Thomas, the Gospel of Philip, the Gospel of Truth, and my favorite, the Gospel of Mary. You know, that's the only female representation in the early Christian movement. For the first time, scholars could hear the Gnostics describe their own beliefs instead of relying solely on those who disagreed with them. And as Christianity became more organized during the 2nd to around the 4th century, church leaders increasingly emphasized one authoritative teacher, one canon of scriptures that they voted on and what would be included in that, and one understanding of Jesus, one path to salvation. The Gnostics challenged each of these belief systems that the church was seeking to put forward. Rather than placing ultimate authority in institutions, in the church and in the priests, they emphasize direct spiritual experience. Rather than limiting revelation to public doctrine, they believe God continued to reveal truth within an awakened heart. They often interpreted scriptures symbolically, or we might say metaphysically, rather than literally, and understood Christ in profound mystical ways. And because of these differences, these writings were eventually rejected by the church structures, the people who were at the top of the burgeoning Christian church. Most of them were destroyed, and the community gradually disappeared. And yet their beliefs never disappeared entirely. Many Gnostic Christians held Jesus in the highest reverence, but they understood his mission differently than the burgeoning church leaders did. Rather than focusing primarily on Jesus' death as payment for humanity's sins, the Gnostics saw him as a divine revealer, the embodiment of divine wisdom expressed, and the one who was here to awaken humanity to their forgotten identity. His purpose was not simply to give people doctrines to believe, but to awaken them to who they truly are. Many Gnostic writings claim that after the resurrection, Jesus shared much deeper spiritual teachings privately with his disciples, and that information was secretly passed down to other leaders and held within these Gnostic communities. The teachings explored the soul's divine origin, the structure of spiritual reality, the nature of illusion, and the soul's path to divine fullness. When you look at many of the Gnostic Gospels, you will see them as if they were written as intimate conversations between Jesus and his individual disciples. It was the recording of their conversations and the revealing of even more expansive truths. One recurring theme through these writings is self-knowledge. The Gospel of Thomas says, "The kingdom of heaven is within." You've probably heard that part. And then it goes on to say, "Whoever knows himself will find it." Whoever is awake to that kingdom within will find the fullness of it. For the Gnostics, self-knowledge was never about self-improvement. It was about remembering the divine presence already within. And although various Gnostic schools differed in many ways, they shared several central themes. And perhaps the most divining of those themes, those beliefs that they held as a collective, was that every human being contains a spark of the divine. Sounds very unity, doesn't it? I'm thinking, Charles Fillmore did not have access to these Gospels, and yet we are aligned so closely with Gnostic, at least the general Gnostic beliefs. That divine spark, they believed, had become trapped in the body and in the distractions and the limitations of the material world, causing us to forget our true origin. And because of that, our human suffering is rooted less in sin and more in forgetfulness. Salvation comes not through ritual or sacrifice or simply believing the right ideas, but through awakening. As we remember our true nature through this gnosis, we begin the journey back into conscious union with God. That makes Gnosticism an intensely inward and mystical path. And in many ways, for those who are a part of unity communities and other new thought kind of movements, we are on that same journey of inner discovery. So this morning, as we have a few minutes that we always set aside for that inward journey, albeit a short one, I'm going to invite you as we prepare to move into meditation just to get comfortable where you're at. You might want to set aside anything you might be holding on to. It's sometimes easier if you can close your eyes, if you're comfortable with that, so that all of your attention is now directed inward, is now awakened to what is unfolding in this present moment. And as we take a few centering breaths, we allow those breaths to bring us to even greater and greater awareness of who we are, the body that we inhabit, and most importantly, to connect with that divine spark, that light, that Christ presence within each of us. Jesus taught that this connection could not happen through the head, or at least not the head alone. It must invoke and be centered in our hearts. And so I invite you just to move your attention, your awareness to your heart space. See if you can't listen closely enough to become aware of your heart as it rhythmically beats in this moment. And just as that heart is always beating, even though the majority of the time we're not conscious of it, that divine light within us is always present, even though through our inattention it may have dimmed. So we put our attention on this light, and as we focus our energy there, it grows. We bring to mind something we deeply appreciate, whether it's in nature or in our relationships. We bring that to mind to activate even greater expansion of our heart center. Focusing on the very many blessings that are a part of our life instead of what may not be working. Start counting those blessings one by one. All the good that is in our life, in our spiritual community, in the greater community, and in the world. Imagine that small light that always burns is now intensifying, spilling out beyond the walls of your body into this room, interconnecting and awakening us in even greater ways. And as we can sit in our own blessings and feel them overflowing, we send those out so that others may awaken to the good that is present in their life in this moment, even in the darkest of situations. These teachings invite us to know and to awaken to this divine light in greater and greater ways. That is how we create heaven on earth. And so I invite each of you to commit in this moment to remember at least once a day, I am the light of God. To invoke that light as the energy of love and allow it to be what leads and guides all of the interactions throughout your day. Take another deep breath and just say thank you. Thank you to know that I am a part of something that is beautiful, that is here to light up the world, that is here to be the divine in expression. And for the many ways in which that unfolds in each of our lives. And as you take another deep breath, begin to bring your attention back to this time and space. Aware once again of your body and the chair supporting you. And whenever you're ready, you can open your eyes. So for the Gnostics, self-knowledge was never about self-improvement. It's kind of our thing these days. How do we improve ourselves? It was about remembering the divine presence within. And although various Gnostic schools differed in many ways, they shared several central themes. And perhaps the most defining was that every human being contained this spark of the divine, that this divine spark somehow gets trapped in the distractions and the limit. Oh, I already did that part. I'm like, this sounds very familiar. I'm repeating myself. All right, reset. So remember that part. Apparently it was important. It's also important to remember that there was never one unified Gnostic church or even group of communities. There were many schools, many teachers, and many interpretations, kind of like Christianity is today, if you will, because there are dozens upon dozens upon dozens of iterations of Christianity that all have their own sort of unique lens in which they look at and engage with life. And although these organized Gnostic communities eventually disappeared, many of their central insights continue to resonate today. Again, that divine presence within each person, spiritual awakening through direct experience, symbolic or metaphysical approaches to sacred texts, the integration of both psychology, which is sort of Platoism, if you will, back in that day, and spirituality as ones that are complementary of each other, ones that are necessary to support us in this awakening. For modern contemplatives and spiritual speakers, these writings often valued less, are often valued less as an alternative history. It's not rewriting what happened, we're learning something new, rather as more of an invitation to awaken, to encounter the divine directly, rather than to merely think about it or talk about it. For those of us in Unity and other New Thought traditions, these are meaningful points of connection. And while Unity affirms the essential goodness of creation, that's one of the ways we differ. The Gnostics thought the material world was not the best place you wanted to be. We have both traditions sharing common beliefs, even though we never really knew this other tradition until more recent years. So it just tells you that it often tends to be passed from generation to generation, even if it isn't in a formalized way. Both teach that transformation comes through awakening rather than through fear, through remembering rather than through earning our way there, through discovering the presence of God already at the center of our being. So in the coming weeks, we're going to explore these texts in greater detail. And as we move through that, our goal is not to decide whether the Gnostics were right or wrong. Rather, it's to listen with open minds and discerning hearts. Every spiritual tradition holds a piece of the larger puzzle. As Unity teaches, we don't need to accept everything to learn something. Many of these conversations deepen our own search, not simply for more information, but for a more intimate experience of what we call God, already waiting, the invitation already expressed for us to say yes to. May we discover that we are the light that we seek.
You change dust into gardens, pieces into peace, tears into fountains, chains into release. You are doubt into action, vision renewed, perfect creation, unfolding into view. You hold all of heaven inside you. No matter what you go through, and if your dreams burn down into ashes, you rise again. You are the light of God, power of prayer lifted up. Every breath testifies you are the light. You are the light. You are the light. You hold all of heaven inside you. No matter what you go through, and if your dreams burn down to ashes, rise again. You are the light of God, power of prayer lifted up. Every breath testifies you are the light. You are the light. Hallelujah. 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 You are the light of God, the power of prayer lifted up. Every breath testifies you are the light. You are the light. You are the light. You are the light. Dust into gardens, pieces into peace.
You know, we are so blessed to have so much beautiful musical talent with us and so many people who are gifted in sharing a message. And I neglected to say thank you to Gigi and thank you to Grant for holding down the fort, as well as Michael and some of the other, Jessica and Stephen, who all helped do the special music or the opening songs last week. We are very grateful that we have so much talent within our community, and we celebrate that. Well, it is our opportunity now to share of our financial good with this community. And being the first Sunday of the month, we haven't done it in a while, but I just wanted to remind you that we are always willing, open, ready to receive any little extra that you can give into our reserve funds. We celebrate that we've been able to tackle all of the expenses that have come up from the property insurance and replacing an air conditioner and the other things that require attention, especially around this aging building, as well as doing this beautiful landscaping that so many of you contributed to make happen. But we've just about depleted, well, in fact, we pretty much are zero in our reserves right now. So it's time to start rebuilding those so that we have plenty of funds. So if you can, eke an extra $10 or $20 out a month, you figure if 50 or 60 of us start doing this, it multiplies in much greater way. And of course, if you have the means and feel called to bless us with greater amounts, then we gratefully receive. So however it is that you share this morning, share with love, with gratitude, and from that sense of abundance, because we live in an abundant universe, and we can tap into that abundance for our own lives and for the lives of this community. In just a moment, the ushers are going to come forward row by row and invite you to come up, place your gift in the larger basket, or if it's not your Sunday to share, or you do so electronically, you can just add your energy to it or use the little card that says, I give online, to place in the basket, and then receive an affirmation to bless you this week from the smaller basket. So let us take what we offer today into our hands and into our hearts and bless it together. Divine love, through me, blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Thank you, Father, Mother God.
Good morning. I'm Susan Spradlin. I'm a member of the board, and I'm here to give you the board update, our monthly board update. Your Board of Trustees continues to work on a number of initiatives to strengthen and grow our spiritual community. And I'm going to give my report in 4 segments, 4 areas. The first is conscious conversations. Our Evolutionary Council completed an incredible 71 one-on-one conversations. Thank you very much for doing that. The team is now synthesizing the feedback to identify emerging themes, celebrating what is working well, and discerning where Spirit is calling us to evolve. A summary report will be shared with the congregation in the coming months. Before I had said weeks, but now it's months. Marketing and communications connection is our second category. A newly formed marketing team is exploring creative ways to share the message of unity with the wider community while making it easier for people to build meaningful connections. Plans are underway for affinity groups based on shared interests, such as forming a serve team that would provide support during times of challenge. For example, recently a board member broke their leg and needed support mowing their lawn, rides to the doctor's appointment, and small repairs and other things. Other future groups are being considered, such as parents, a dinner group, singles, and AI explorers. That sounds interesting. The third category is minister transition. Beginning in August this month, early conversations will begin with a minister search team to help ensure a thoughtful and a seamless transition as we prepare for new ministerial leadership next year. As Reverend Linda stated, we are currently operating with a positive cash flow. However, our reserves are reduced after paying our annual property insurance premium and replacing the sanctuary air conditioning system. Therefore, our current fund balances as of today, the general fund has $2,786, and that general fund is used to pay our regular monthly bills like heating and air conditioning, water, utilities. Then approximately $500 each remains in the bookstore fund, Body, Mind, Spirit Fest, the building, and LUT scholarship funds. While our financial reserves are currently at 0, we are grateful that our line of credit also remains at 0. Very good thing. Your continued generosity makes it possible for Center of Unity to fulfill its mission while caring for the beautiful building and grounds that support our spiritual home. Thank you for your ongoing love, support, and commitment to this community as we continue to grow together.
Here's what's coming up at Center of Unity. Come to Fellowship Hall after service on the first Sundays of each month for a love offering community lunch featuring different themes. Invite your friends for this time of fellowship and great food.
There will be no meeting on August 2nd, but plan to join us next month in the prayer room for this time of meditation and scripture reading. Visit contemplativeoutreach.org for more info.
Join Norma Crawford and others online every Tuesday at 11:30 a.m. for the Metaphysical Bible Interpretation class, where we refocus our attention on the good that God is making available to us now. Each class is self-contained. The Zoom ID is on the screen, or you can access it from the website or the COU app.
Interested in serving others through prayer, encouragement, and compassionate care? Join us for a brief care team informational meeting on Sunday, August 30th at 11:45 a.m. in the prayer and meditation room. Come learn how you can make a difference in the lives of our church family. Our new Joyful Moments to Share bulletin board is here. Celebrate weddings, graduations, anniversaries, new adventures, family milestones, and more by submitting a photo and brief description through the COU website or app.
There are multiple ways you can make a donation to Center of Unity. You can drop your donation off at the church, mail it to our P.O. Box, visit our website, or use the COU or Venmo app. Your continued support is greatly appreciated.
All right, let's sing our kids in.
Good morning, everybody. Well, we're back to our regular classes now and our newly minted YOU group. Woohoo! All right. So we're going to share with you about the things that they learned and did today.
Today we played a little game with balls and sticks, and first we had to put the sticks in a glass cup with holes, and then we dropped little balls in, and then we slid one stick out to see if the balls got to a team.
Kerplunk. They played Kerplunk while they're waiting for everyone to arrive in class.
Today we made God cans, and I covered mine with unicorn stickers, and yeah.
Today we learned one of Jesus' first miracles, turning water into wine. So it was at a wedding where if you were the host back then, you were never supposed to run out of wine, and they ran out of wine. So Jesus ordered all the servants to bring him water, and he gave it to the host, and the host could not believe, wow, this man just turned water into wine. And today, wine is a miracle, very expensive miracle, but still a miracle.
Today we learned how to use our inner Christ to guide our decisions and make the right decisions, even if they don't feel right.
All right, anyone else?
We did the same lesson as them, but we in the new room we're discussing, what furnishings we'll need, and like if we'll need a fundraiser to get it.
All right. So, and just watch out for further announcements, because at the end of the month at our multi-gen this month, then the Uniteens will be holding a fundraiser to help offset the cost for their Unitreat that'll be happening in November.
We're going to stand up. We're going to go all the way around the room, join hands, make a big, big, big circle all the way around the room, and we are going to do our peace song.
And so as we go into this day, into this week, focusing on enlivening that divine spark within us, we go knowing our prayer for protection. We'll do it as call and response. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Together, wherever we are, God is, and all is well. All right. Good to see you. I did. It was nice to see family and just be away, you know? Good to see you, Shirley. Yeah, you doing all right? Perfect. All right. Hi. Good to see you, too. How you doing?
Phenomenal, so are you?
I'll take that. Well, hello. How are you guys? I'm doing well. You traveling this summer? Hey, Harry, good to see you.
Nice to see you.
Any fun adventures you guys been going on?